Hey, happy Friday. I'm going to talk to y'all on my way to work this morning, and I promise I am just sitting here watching the road as I'm talking. So we're just going to have a conversation, and I'm going to talk and basically to new wig wearers, just reinforcing some of the information that I know you've heard before. And I want to talk to you about, to let you know, I absolutely know how you feel. I have been wearing wigs since 2020, so for 5 years. That is a huge amount of time to get a lot of knowledge, because I've worn them every day since about March of 2020. So actually 5 years, really almost to the day. Now, I will just say at the very beginning, I don't know why I had an easier time than some do, other than I embraced the change, and so I knew it was going to look like I had more hair when I started wearing wigs, but that's what I wanted. And so I was happy to see that height and the thickness that I didn't have with my hair, because it had got so thin. I still have my hair, but it is very thin on top. And I can tell you right now, I would probably look 15 years older or more if I wore my biological hair versus these wigs. It makes a difference in how you feel, how you carry yourself, and it's just life-changing. It was for me. So one of the things I want to stress that maybe might be helpful for you is if you look for a color similar to the hair you have, the color, and maybe the style similar. And then you get that wig, and number one, before you put it on, put a little bit of makeup on. Even if you don't wear makeup, just do a little bit. I mean, it doesn't have to be a lot, whatever you're comfortable with. But you want to look your best when you put it on, because honestly, with my own hair, before I put my makeup on and stuff, I didn't feel as good as when I did. So it will change your attitude about the wig if you just are getting dressed and you're, even if you're just going to be around the house, just put a little bit of it on. Get you some coffee, whatever that you enjoy drinking, tea, and just relax and have a drink. And while you're doing it, take your time and just explore and give the wig time, to figure it out. Part it, mess with the part a little bit. You can fluff it a little bit. If you're used to bangs, I would suggest maybe buying a wig with the bang at first. That way, it's easier to trim. It's already there. And so maybe you just cut it as a diagonal, on the bottom. You just snip it very little at first until you're comfortable with where it's at. I mean, because it won't grow back. So you just take it very little. If you're not, you could go to your hairdresser and have them do it. But it's so easy to do, and especially if the bang is already there. So I would suggest that if you want a bang. If you like bangs, you do not necessarily need a lace front. The lace front is really helpful for people that don't want a bang. It looks just like your hairline, honestly. And so that I would suggest, if you do not want a bang, that you do pay a little bit more and get a wig with a lace front. Because if you don't, and it's a basic cap wig, some people go, well, that just looks wiggy to me. I mean, there's this dark line there or something. And so, I think if I did not wear bangs, yes, I would definitely always have a lace front. And then the other thing to think about, is color. You want the color similar to your hair. But the other thing is, I will tell you, one thing that I love a rooted wig. And I know a lot of people go, well, I don't have roots, and that looks like you just need to have your hair done. Well, to me, it gives the wig depth. It looks more natural for me personally. Now, everybody is different, so it's whatever you feel comfortable with. But I learned how, because a lot of times the rooted wigs maybe cost a little bit more, or I couldn't find the color that I wanted that had a root in it. And so I went on Amazon and I found, I think it's L'Oreal, and it's a wig root spray. And I got the medium brown, and I just spray a little bit on the roots at the top. Plus, it kind of disguises any permatease or anything that might be there that you would see. And it's easy to do. I do not root the whole wig. I don't go through the whole thing. Like when you buy a rooted wig, the whole wig is really rooted all the way through it. I don't do that. This root spray does wash out. It may leave a little bit there after you wash it and then have to wash it again if you don't want it. But it does wash out. And so I just reapply a little bit when after I wash it. You only have to wash your wigs about every, 14, 15 wearings. It depends on what you're doing, and if you were doing something really dirty work or just sweating a lot or something, you may need to wash it more frequently, but you'll know when it's not as maybe fluffy or whatever, and so you can kind of tell when it's just starting to stick together or mat together that maybe it needs a washing and a little conditioner and stuff on it. And then if you get the synthetic wigs, which that's what I recommend, that's all I wear. I do not wear human hair wigs. There's nothing wrong with them. A lot of people enjoy them. My deal is I'm wearing wigs for convenience. I want to get ready fast. And if you have a human hair wig, well, it's just like your hair. You have to fix it. These synthetic wigs, they retain the style. Even after you wash them, they go back to that original style. So that's absolutely what I love about these synthetic wigs. And I was started with a company called Godiva's Secret Wigs because I'd heard about them years ago and I felt they were a good, legitimate company. I knew them. And so I started there. And their wigs are awesome because they're made for exactly what I wanted to do. They're made for convenience. What I call is shake and go wigs. I shake it every time just to fluff it out before I put it on my head. And I love them. I actually became a rep for them, so I can actually even still sell them for Godiva's Secret Wigs because I do still wear a lot of their wigs. I buy a lot of their wigs for myself personally. I love their wigs. They're a lot like the brand. If you are familiar with any brands on wigs, there's one called Noriko. There's also Renee Paris, Envy, some of those. But Noriko, to me, is almost identical to the comfort, the styles that I get with Godiva's Secret Wigs, only they have a number of additional colors that I like and a lot more rooted options. Now, you can, say for instance, there's a company called Wig Studio One. There's one called Name Brand Wigs. There's a number of others, but those two right off the bat are pretty large companies that sell a lot of wigs, but they also have a sale page and what they call open box. And then sometimes what they do, even after they're on sale, they'll put an additional maybe 40% off, 30% off the already sales price. So that's usually what I wait. And if I'm going to buy a Noriko wig or anything like that, I'll wait till I catch it on an open box at one of these sites. And I will get it there because it's just real economical. Honestly, I don't usually pay more for one of those wigs when I catch it on sale. Probably no more than $140, and most of the time more around $100, $120. So that's a great price on a good quality wig. Now there's some other companies that I know are very, you may see them for $29, $39, $49. And I have ordered some of those, honestly, and I can wear them, but I have to do a lot more work to get them to look like I want them to look, to get the height, and they don't, seem to last during the day like I want them to as far as the style. And I just would rather pay a little bit more and get something that I know I'm going to be comfortable with throughout the day and it's going to hold its style. So, and it's more of a shake and go. I don't have to do much work in the morning. So that is kind of what I wanted to reinforce today. And then you put that makeup on, you put that wig on, you work with it a little bit, and you can, style these, put it like I can put this behind my ear, puff this up on this side. I've wore clips. I can do an updo in it. There's just all kinds of options, make it your own is what I would tell you. And then put a smile on your face. because I'm telling you, a smile changes everything. It changes how you feel, how you look, how others perceive you. If you're happy and you're confident in that wig when you walk out the door, I promise you, most of the time, people aren't even going to know it's a wig. And they're just going to think, golly, you look great. What'd you do to your hair? Well, you don't even have to tell them if you don't want to. That's a decision you make. You can just say, oh, I just got it redone, and yeah, I love it. Or you can tell them when you feel comfortable telling them. It's up to you. But just know, like when you're out walking around, how many times do you really examine people's hair and go, well, is that a wig? Or look at that, they've got a hair out of place. Well, you know what? People worry about flyaways on these wigs, like maybe a hair, here or there, it's not laying flat or something, which there's water, you can spray it with water or, some kind of wig hairspray that works really well. But if you look at other people in a normal day, their hair is not all 100% perfectly in place. So that looks natural. And that's something to think about. I mean, I thought about all this too. All of this stuff, when I first started wearing wigs, I thought about it all too. And I had to do the learning curve. And it is a learning curve. I know sometimes we make it seem easy and go, well, you just put it on and you go and you should be happy. Well, it is a process. And then sometimes you have family members that quite honestly, some of them may be a little bit jealous of you because all of a sudden you look better than they do. And they're going to downplay what you're doing. It's just like when you go on a diet and you lose weight, some people are jealous of that. And they can't just go, well, you look great. They have to go, oh, well, you look sick or, or is something wrong or whatever, because they want to make you feel bad. Don't buy into it. I mean, and I don't know, everybody's at a different age level or whatever, but here I am, 68 years old, and the beauty of that is when you get to this age, you frankly don't care what they think. It's like, you do you, boo, because this is me, and it is what it is. So don't let them bring you down. I mean, don't. And I know that's easier said than done sometimes, because women are the most cruel creatures sometimes on this planet. I mean, I know I've been around them for years. I've either worked with them, went to school, went to high school, junior high. I mean, there's a thing called Mean Girls. It's a real deal. But we have to learn to just rise above it and, be our own self, be true to ourselves, enjoy what we do, how we do it. At this age, we've earned it. So anyway, I just wanted to come on and give you a little pep talk this morning, and that's just kind of my thought for the day. And I hope everybody has a absolute great weekend. And I know I keep saying this, but I'm going to do some wig reviews. I had the flu a little while back, and so I came on and I was going to try to do one, and then I thought, gosh, my voice sounds horrible. And then I was coughing, so I just really couldn't for a little bit. And then I had some other stuff at my job, because I do work full time, but trying to do this as well. So I am going to do more, because I do want to be here, because I do feel like I have something to give back, because I've been through the journey and continue to do the journey and love it. And so absolutely, I'm here, and I want a community of women that just want to support one another and be here for one another, because that's what we're here to do on this planet. We're all in this thing together. And so let's be supportive and support each other. And I'm glad y'all came on if you listened to me today. And I will talk to you soon, and I hope everybody has a great weekend. Bye.